2025, the year this video goes live, marks the 1/4 point of the 21st century, meaning, yeah, we are already a quarter of the way through this 100-year chapter of our history, and by God, a lot of history has happened. From world-changing events, countless wars, a global pandemic, the death of many major figures, the rise of the internet and modern technologies, huge shifts in popular culture and social attitudes, 8 prime ministers, 9 doctors, and way too many environmental disasters, which at this rate can't be chalked up to being a coincidence, right? But a lot has changed in the last 25 years. On top of all these things I've mentioned, many country names have changed too. And today, we're looking into every country that has changed its name in the 21st century. But before we continue, I need to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, NordVPN. It seems to me that day by day the internet is becoming a scarier place. Scams and threats are abundant and there's all kinds of dubious figures lurking online, wanting to see what you're up to. On top of this, the internet is becoming more and more restricted, with certain features of our online world only available in certain countries and places. Nord deals with both of these issues in one fell swoop, and allows you to explore the online world safe from harm and completely unrestricted. This might sound like some kind of magic, but that really isn't the case. All you have to do is connect to one of their super secure servers, and in an instant, you are hidden from anyone with any evil intentions from accessing your data, allowing your online activity to remain completely private, all thanks to their Threat Protection Pro. Plus, Nord has servers all across the globe, and you are able to access any of them from wherever you are on planet Earth, meaning you can browse online and access features from anywhere. In example, I've heard really good things about the new Irish version of The Traitors, but even though Ireland is just across the sea from me here in the UK, you can't actually watch it here. Nord is to the rescue, thankfully, as all I need to do is connect to one of their Irish servers and I can watch all the treachery and chaos as if I were in the Emerald Isles myself. Also, for WWE fans in the USA, if you are sick of having to pay for Netflix, Peacock, and cable to watch all their shows, as well as ESPN now for their PLEs, then just know that all WWE shows are on just Netflix here in the UK. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, PLEs, everything. Trust me, paying for just Netflix and Nord is a lot cheaper for American fans than paying for all those services. Seriously, it's appalling what WWE are doing right now with all of this. But this might sound like you need a degree in computer science or something, but that really isn't the case. Nord is super easy to use across multiple devices, and you can connect to any of their servers in a matter of clicks. But even if you are still confused, their 24/7 customer support will help you no matter what. And even if you try Nord and realize it isn't quite your cup of tea, then no worries, as they have a brilliant 30-day money-back guarantee. Nord are even offering Name Explain viewers an exclusive offer, as well as 4 extra months free of their terrific service. Simply visit nordvpn.com/nameexplain or click the link down below to enjoy Nord at a great price. Thank you so much once again to NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. And remember, that's nordvpn.com/nameexplain, or simply click the link down below. Anyway, country names, along with the shapes of our phones, our attention spans, and fashion choices, have changed a lot in the last 25 years too. Some of these changes are way more noticeable than others. Some simply change a word or two in their big fancy titles, while others have wholesale new names. These new names came into being for a variety of reasons too, as we shall see. We also need to cover the fact that we might not all agree on these name changes. Country names are kind of weird things. They only really exist if we all actually agree on them. A country might insist that its name is changed, but that only really works if other countries agree with that different name too. This might mean there are some countries covered in this video that some places might not see as being countries or recognize those different names. For this video, I followed the guidance of the UK government, who have a whole page dedicated to country name changes and their recognition of them. It's the nation I'm from, so it felt like a good enough source to follow along with. And the first country name change that happened in the 21st century was with the African nation of Comoros. In 2001, this nation went from having the full official title of the Federal Islamic Republic of Comoros to simply the Union of Comoros. This name change came about down to the fact that the nation signed a new constitution this year, which gave each of the islands the country is made up of their own powers, making the country a union, kind of in the same way like the UK and USA are. The following year of 2002 saw not only a country change its name, but a whole new nation come into being, bringing with it a whole new name. New names count too, right? The first of these were Bahrain, which went from being the state of Bahrain into being the Kingdom of Bahrain. This comes down to the fact that in this year, Bahrain's leader, Hamad bin Isa al Khalifa, casually decided to claim himself king after being a mayor. Seems wild to just decide you're going to be a king and not give up your power, but this probably won't be the last time it happens this century. But it was also in 2002 when a small part of Indonesia, the eastern side of an island called Timor, found independence and took on the title of Timor-Leste, which means East Timor. 2003, meanwhile, saw the names and borders start to shift more so in the Balkans. This was still only around a decade after the fall of the Soviet Union, and this part of the world was still figuring out its place in the world in some ways. In 1992, one of the countries to emerge from the dissolution of Yugoslavia was Yugoslavia. Well, more specifically, the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. This country equates to modern Serbia and Montenegro, and in 2003, it changed its name to the State Union of Serbia and Montenegro, most likely to remove that title of Yugoslavia, which was getting pretty outdated by this point. The name would stay this way for 3 years, as in 2006, Montenegro claimed independence and became the Republic of Montenegro. Yet even here it wasn't finalized, as in the following year of 2007, the Republic of Montenegro became just Montenegro. Like it doesn't have a different longer title or anything. Slight tangent, but I can't believe this kind of world history was happening while I was alive. 12-year-old me in 2006 was more occupied with playing Wii Sports than knowing about geopolitical history seemingly. But 2008 sees the first instance of a country name change we might not all agree with, as it was in this year the UK government recognised the state of Kosovo, giving us the country name of the Republic of Kosovo. But going into 2009, we head over to South America for the first time in this video, with the country of Bolivia. In this year, the country's constitution was changed, and its full title went from being the Republic of Bolivia to the plurinational state of Bolivia. This is a word I haven't ever really delved into all that much. It means that multiple peoples, or nations, exist within one country. This was chosen as Bolivia's title to reflect the various cultures housed within the nation. We finally leave the noughties behind as we enter the year 2010. This is the first time we see the nation of Myanmar appear in this video. This is a country with a long history of name changes, and its short name and full title not matching up. For a little bit of context, in 1989, the full title changed from the Union of Burma to the Union of Myanmar, but its short name remained just Burma. Fast forward to 2010 and the full title changes yet again, from the Union of Myanmar to the Republic of the Union of Myanmar. Its short name remained as Burma, however. 2011 sees South Sudan become its own nation, giving us the title the Republic of South Sudan. 2011 also saw the Great Socialist People's Libyan Arab Jamahiriya change its name to just Libya. This was a result of the Libya Civil War, which took place in this year, which saw the overthrowing of the government and the assassination of Colonel Gaddafi. You know, I was once told I looked like Gaddafi, and honestly I'm still processing that information. 2012 saw a really interesting one happen. The UK government in particular agreed to the changing of Suriname's name. When the land was a British colony, it lacked the E on the end, but in this year they added it on, giving us the only country with the word name in its name, as far as I can tell anyway. 2013 saw Burkina become Burkina Faso, which replaced its short name, as well as its older fuller title of the Republic of Burkina. And 2014 saw Cape Verde, as it was known in English, finally become Cabo Verde in other languages, which is simply Cape Verde but in Portuguese, the key tongue of the nation. 2015, meanwhile, saw no countries change names, but it did see the start of a certain YouTube channel which would go on to explain the origins of names. Yeah, I still can't quite fully believe this is somehow almost 10 years old. What this means is that going forward, many of the name changes I'll be highlighting are ones I covered when they actually happened. Take the 2016 name change of the Czech Republic into Czechia. This was done to give the country a more to the point short name, like its neighbour Slovakia has. I remember when this first first happened and there was some resistance to it, but since then the name has found itself more commonly used. It's worth highlighting here that this didn't remove the name Czech Republic from the country, it just added Czechia as the short title the land can use too. In the following year of 2017, meanwhile, we arrived back in Libya. As mentioned, back in 2011, it went from being the Great Socialist People's Libyan Arab Jamahiriya due to that revolution and the assassination of myself, Gaddafi. Well, by 2017, they'd received another new title, going from just Libya to the Republic of Libya. 2018, meanwhile, saw Swaziland change both its short and full name, becoming Eswatini in short and the Kingdom of Eswatini in full. This was done by the king of the land himself, Mswati III, and it still means the same thing as Swaziland, the land of the Swazis, but in their native language. Once again, we have a whole video on this one. Likewise, we have a whole video on the next one too, as in 2019, Macedonia, or the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, received its new name of North Macedonia. This one was a long time coming, after years of dispute with neighbouring Greece in relation to the name and who truly has the right to use that name of Macedonia. The title of North Macedonia seems to have kept both sides happy. Or happy enough anyway. Our friends of Burma reappear in 2019 too, as they finally changed their short name to Myanmar. Well, kind of. Officially their short name is Myanmar, then Burma in brackets, but seemingly everyone calls them just Myanmar these days, and have been doing so for some time. With the 2010s in the rearview mirror, we arrive in the dumpster fire that has been the 2020s. Seriously, take me back to the 2010s. It was all good then. We're all putting our hands in the air and singing and dancing really cheesy music. I just found out about the term recession pop, which I hadn't heard before, but that was my jam. Oh, seriously, take me back. And obviously for the first 2 years of this decade, 2020 and 2021, there were no name changes. We were clearly all too busy clapping in the streets and playing Among Us over Zoom to really think about changing any country names. But finally in 2022, as the world started to seem a tad more normal again, before shortly shifting back into chaos, we did see some name changes. Iceland, for some reason, shifted from being the Republic of Iceland to just being Iceland. I have no idea why this happened. It comes up on the UK government's name change list, but I can't find any more info on it elsewhere. If anyone's watching from Reykjavik who can explain this one to us, that would be great. 2022 also saw Turkey change its name to Turkiye. This was done so the country's name around the world would reflect its native name. But some also believe it was done so the country wouldn't share its name with a certain kind of bird. This is a name change that is still trying to find its feet on the global stage. While the nation insists that this is their name, many places are still calling it Turkey. Then in 2023, the Pacific nation of Micronesia finally got a longer name, being dubbed the Federative State of Micronesia. And that's where I thought this video would end. And it did end there when I started planning this one out. Yet between planning and writing, there's another name to cover, as it was just days ago at the time of recording that the UK government recognised Palestine as a state, giving us the name the State of Palestine. Once again, like Kosovo, this one isn't agreed upon by the entire world. But maybe one day in the future it will be. This shows us just how many name changes have happened in the last 25 years. If you asked me how many country name changes had happened in the 21st century prior to the making of this video, I would have said like 3, maybe. But in reality, it's a load more. And some even changed their names multiple times this century. But with 1/4 of this century down, we can only imagine what country names will change in the next 3/4. And once again, thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. Simply visit nordvpn.com/nameexplain or click the link down below to enjoy that exclusive offer and an extra 4 months of NordVPN. Name Explain depends on viewers like yourself supporting the channel financially on Patreon, so a huge thank you to everyone who does. Donating just $1 a month helps the channel amazingly and gets you bonuses including ad-free videos, exclusive content, the power to request ideas to be made into actual Name Explain videos, and your name at the end of the video with all these awesome people. Visit patreon.com/nameexplain or click the link down below to find out how you too can support the channel. Thank you. Thanks for reaching the end of the video. Why not watch another and subscribe to keep up to date on all things Name Explain. You can find myself on Instagram where I'm NameExplainYT, and join the Facebook group Friends of Name Explain to talk with myself and other name nerds. All that will be linked down below. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and once again, thank you all so much.